Good morning, everyone. Today's lesson is about the body language. So, when you give the presentation, you need to set the body, the movement, the posture, and the gesture. Moreover, you also need to have the correct eye contact to look at the audience. Okay, so let's start. Before we learn about the body language, we have to discuss if they are good or bad. So as you can see that all of them are good except the last one, because the way she's standing is like a soldier or freezing cold and she doesn't move at all. This is to show the nervousness that she could not remember the content or she feel like concerned about giving the presentation. But the rest are very good because the first one, he shows the fingers showing the number. For example, there are 3 topics, right? And also, the second one is also good because he showed the number, like number 1 or the first topic he would like to present. And also the next one, she opened her palm to point out the graph or the picture, anything on the screen. So the easy way is showing the palm like this. And the fourth one is about equal. That is another gesture showing that when you are saying it's equal, so you can act by having the hands or the finger together like this. And the other one also talking about something separate or something different. So all of them are very good, okay, except the last one. Let's move on to the next one. All of them, as you can see, the first one that when he is giving the presentation, he also look at the window, seeing the birds. That is not a good posture. And also dancing like this, right? When you give presentation and then you move like you are dancing, that means you are showing nervousness again. And also the way she is like look at the star, look at the ceiling. So she doesn't look at the audience at all. That means it's not a professional way to give the presentation. This seems like very good, right? But she is rubbing her hands. That is another gesture showing that she is so nervous. She's worried about the presentation. She's so concerned, she's not confident enough. And the last one is also another bad one because the way he moves is like serving, moving his waist, around. That is not a good gesture. But the last one is a good one because she is showing the step, like step 1, 2, and 3 by showing her hands up and down like that. So it is good. As you can see, this is the answer. It's a good one. And also the rest of the posture, gesture mean using the hands, right? So this is to emphasize, this is to show in the middle, and also face 1, 2, and 3. This is face. You will see this as example later, right? Now, one thing that I would like to focus on, the way that you give the presentation, you need to show Thai culture. That means you have to smile, you bow, and also do the Y. The Y is like bowing, right? And then you say Swadee krap, Swadee ka, greeting in Thai, because we are Thai. That is one of the criteria that you guys will show Thai culture. Let's move on to the types of the body language. As you can see, there are posture, there are eye contact, and also gesture. Let's start with the good and bad posture. As you can see that this is not a good posture. Number 1, the way he stand, and number 2, the way he's giving the presentation. He's reading the script, right? And also, this is just example that she's turning her back to the audience, right? She also read the script too. So absolutely the way they are giving the presentation is not a good idea. because they read the script most of the time, ignore the audience, and look nervous, standing like a statue. So now they adjust themselves by turning to the audience, right? And also smile, look so confident. They don't read much of the script. So this is good. Now, let's talk about the posture. So they all have their own name. Number 1 is like a soldier. Number 2 is washing her hands, right? Number 3 is the stargazer. This is number 3. And number 4 is the bird watcher. This is 8th. And hula dancing. This one is hula dancing. The next one is called the server. And the last one is called the hula dancer. Okay? So this is the answer. Bird watcher, stargazer, server, and hula dancer. Moreover, I would like to focus on avoiding using the back posture. Number 1, you won't have the hands in the pockets. And you won't get emotional. That means you need to smile, you need to look at the, look professional, right? Confident. And walking like a tiger in the cage, what does it mean? That you, for example, this is like the stage, and then you walk around back and forth like this all the time. So don't walk like a tiger in a cage. This is good posture. He looks so confident. The way he dressed, very good, right? He smiled. And also the way she hold her hands is very natural, right? When you give the presentation, you need to hold the hands like this. And also you can use the hand to point out things, information on the screen. Now let's move on to the eye contact. The eye contact is the way you look at the audience, okay? The way you look at the audience. As you can see, this is facial expression. They look at the audience and they look so confident. The way they hold their hands, posture, the way they dress, they are very good, right? So the technique of using the eye contact is just spend only a few seconds to the audience. You won't stare at them, right? You won't stare at them. That's the point. So they are good. Now let's move on to the gesture. There are many types of the gesture. Number 1 is number and sequence, emphasis and focus, illustration and location, comparison and contrast. So let's start with the number and sequence. As you can see that you need to show the finger. When you speak or you say, I have 3 reasons, you can show the numbers, right? 3 fingers, 3 reasons. Let's move on to the next one. If you want to show the sequence, that is number 1, number 2, and number 3, or first, second, and the third. As you can see, the way she moved from the top, middle, and also the bottom, right? In order from top to the bottom, up to down. Now let's move on to the face. Phase 1, phase 2, or period 1, period 2. The way he moves from the left to the right. Phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. Period 1, period 2, and period 3. So that is the way. Let's move on to the second topic, that is about emphasis and focus. So as you can see that if we want to focus or emphasize that we are number 1, we are unique, you can show the finger, okay? If you want to say this point is very important, this point is emphasized, things like this. So you just have a fist on your palm and bang on your palm like that. Next one is about you use your palm to emphasize on the information on the screen. For example, pointing at the graph, you just open your palm and point at that information. So, for example, the key point is here. That is to focus, right? And the next one is about the illustration and location. As you can see, that illustration and location, you can shape, form the thing in the air. All right? For example, my TV screen is this big, so you can open your arm, open your palms to show how big of the TV is. Next one, if you want to show the location, for example, in the middle, right? So you have to show your finger down onto the palm. That's it. If you want to move from the left to the right, or it is on the left or it is on the right, so you just show by moving your arm and hands to the left or to the right. That's it. And the last one is about comparison and contrast. The first one is about equal, right? So as you can see from the picture that the palm and the finger hit or touch together, that means equal. And also, if you want to explain the graph, for example, the trend of the graph is increasing like this, so the movement from the left hand is moving up. But on the other hand, if the graph or the trend is moving down, so you just move your hand down. That's it. For example, the world population has been rapidly increasing since 1970s. If you want to say something different or separate, right? So you can copy the way he moved from the middle, and then you move water to the left and the right. These are different, right? And then you move the hands like that. So this is about the content about the body language. Now let's move on to the worksheet that you got already. These are the example that I have already mentioned, right? So I will skip this exercise. Now let's move on to the second one. The second one is, as you can see, while you are giving the presentation and you say that word, you can also act. All right? So, hello everyone. Today I would like to emphasize, you need to choose A to F. Which one is emphasized? So, based on the example I gave you before, that is the answer. F is the answer, emphasize, right? On 3 biggest side effects of smartphone usage. So 3, that means D, okay? Now let's move on to the next one. Talking about the first topic. So the first topic, you can also use A as the first topic. The number of people who has cancer has been gradually increasing. Increasing is moving up, right? So the answer is E. Good. The second, that is B. You show the finger that is 2 fingers together. The second disadvantage is on accident. The innocent may die if the driver is using a smartphone while driving. The last side effect is problem in relationships. They may feel alone if you focus on using it. This is a big problem. What is the big one? C is the answer, right? Big one. That means big. All right. So actually, you will see me in the classroom. We are going to practice how to use the body language while you are giving the presentation. And the content today is, we come to the end of the presentation today. So see you again in the classroom. Thank you so much. Goodbye.